Yo, what's up YouTube? It's TRS or Real Smoky here, and today I am finally doing my Templock video. I know it's been a while since I said I'd do this, but I was testing some stuff out, which you will see as we proceed through the build, what I've been testing out. But first off, I'm going to start with the gear, which for the moment, till next mod, I probably will be swapping out the headpiece. I am currently using the Dino Hide Raid, which is the Mastercraft headpiece. I was using the Rex Corona before this, but this has just got better stats, and I'm more of a recovery based character now. But recovery power crit, and obviously the armor pen. The chest piece I'm using at the moment is the Feared Keynote of the Bear, because we have got a couple of powers that are classified as melee, so it is actually better for us. But come next mod, that will be getting swapped to the Hag Rags, which will be then swapping the arm pieces that I'm using, which are currently the Ice Salt Wraps. So I'll be putting the Hag Rags on for my chest piece when I get it, and then for the arm pieces I will be using the Jaw Rippers, because your encounter powers do 3% more damage with that, so I'll have that bonus instead. The weapons I'm still using are the Exaltated Primal weapons. I've got both main and offhand. With the weapon enchant being a unparalleled Fey Touch, and the armor enchant I am using in my chest piece is also a unparalleled negation. I know some people are asking questions about them because I forgot to mention them last time. The boots I'm currently using are the Enduring boots, and I believe I'll still be using them next mod, because I don't think there's out better for Warlocks, but we'll see next mod. The neck and waist piece I'm using is the Baphomet set, or the Orcus set, because we're getting, pretty much every class is getting buffed essentially with that next mod, because there's a lot of powers that don't work with it at the moment. The rings I'm using, well, first ring I'm using is Ring of the Shadow Stalker +4. I'm wanting a +4 and a +5. I have not been able to pull a +5 yet, because that'll work out 4.5% more damage to a target over the Mastercraft ring that I had, which was just power and recovery. So I had to drop some item level for that, but oh well. Item is best in slot over item level, and it's how it should be. The next ring is Ring of the Offensive Action. When I use a daily, your damage is increased by 3% for 5 seconds. That is constantly active on this build. You will see why. It's short, very short. And like I said, waist is the demo waist. I'm using the upper and lower primal pants. Your daily does 3% more damage, which is nice, because Brooder, Hader, Gates of Hell, Tyrannical, all that. Whichever one you actually use is nice. Damage increase is always nice. And 25% for, got that more for the stats of it, because more hit points when you're running with a pally equals more damage. On a Templock, more damage equals more healing, but you shouldn't really be focusing as much on healing for a Templock, because the more healing you do, the worse the group is. I've done runs with groups that have had to heal for 50 million, if not more, and they're the really bad groups. So I'm happy if I've only got to heal 5 million at most, which surprisingly that's what I tend to run about in CODG. But people love Templocks in there. The next thing I'm going to be going on to is my stats when I'm stood still, which I'm going to scroll down and right slowly. You can see my ability stars on the left hand side. I do have the campfire buff at the moment because I'm in the stronghold. And cause what you'll want to do is 18 in con and charisma. And I'm a human at the moment. So I only put the +2 in constitution. So they're the ability rolls. My stats stood still at 40,000 power, now 17,000 crit, 5,000 amp, which I know is low, but I get a lot off my companion, 8.4k recovery, 13,800 defense. But yeah, you can see all my stats there. So I'm quickly going to go run over, proc my companion, and I will show you what my stats look like. Because my companion is now procced. That's what my stats look like in game. Well, self-procced. 70, my power keeps jumping up. 74,000 power, 29,000 crit. I know I could do with a little bit more crit on this build, because I'm on it 91.5%. So you know what you need for stat wise. You need 30,000 before Baphomets. That'll put you about 94.5 to 95%, which then Baphomet gives you the final 5%. And the power just gone down then because Dark Revelry ain't procced on me anymore, because I'm just stood still. But yeah, that's what my in-game stats look like. I will go on to feats and then powers. Feel free to pause this video at any time. So you can take like screenshots and stuff. But I will quickly go over everything. All the heroic feats are self-explanatory, as you can see. But on this build, I'm actually spec'd for powers of the 9 helms, because this affects you and your allies. The damage and damage resistant buff provided by Pillar of Power now lasts for 5 seconds after leaving it, which that is it's a really nice buff, because I mainly run with TRs as the main DPS in T9, because I know some amazing TRs that will outdo anyone. But they jump around like kangaroos, so that's why I'm spec'd for this when I'm doing my Templock with them, because it's really helpful. But now on to the temptation tree, which is crit chance when I'm critting, well, not life steal chance when I crit, which 9 times out of 10 do crit on this build. And I've got hellish condemnation. I know I just butchered that. Targets affected by your hellish rebuke at will deal 5% less damage. So it's helpful, but you've got to remember all the buffs from a Templock are group only, apart from Dark Revelry, I believe. Which Dark Revelry is next. Whenever you life steal, you and nearby allies are granted Revelry. Revelry increases your run speed and power by 20% for 5 seconds. This is 20% of your base stats. So for me, Dark Revelry on this build gives me 8k power for 5 seconds. But because one of the powers I use, I can proc it all the time. Even when I'm not in combat. Well, not when I'm out of combat, but when I'm at full health. And then next one I use is Aura of Despair. Enemies within 50 yards you deal 5% less damage and take 5% more damage, which is really helpful. And then next one is Aura of Cruelty. You and all teammates within 50 yards you gain 5% life steal and 10% life steal severity, which is always nice, because I know some people don't have the highest life steal chance, so it's there for just in case I'm like ever not with them or not targeting or, you know, like held by hand or shadows. The next one is Eldritch Movement. Taking damage causes you to gain 5% of your stamina. That is not the important part of this, but the next bit is using a daily power grants you and nearby allies combat advantage for 12 seconds. So as long as I can keep a daily up, I'm always giving DPS and whoever else is in my group combat advantage for 12 seconds, which when you see my mounts and stuff, you'll be like, oh, fair enough. And the last one is soul bonding. Whenever you deal damage to an enemy, you heal your allies for a percentage of that damage. This percentage is equivalent to your life steal chance, which my life steal chance is sitting, it sits about 30% in combat, I believe. This healing is 30% as effective when using AoE powers, which is like AoE powers is Pillar of Power and Dread Feed. So I'm using 2 AoE powers. The healing components of Vampire Embrace and Warlock Bargain now heal nearby allies. All allies now deal 20% increased damage to enemies affected by your Warlock's curse, which is what you should always be doing on your Templock, your DPS lock, your Dam lock. Whatever type of Warlock you're running, you should always be cursing your target is damage. And then life steal chance also increased by 10%. I did notice I forgot something. My active I'm using is the Sigil of the Devoted, because this is just nice. Grants you 100% of your action points over 15 seconds. In addition, you heal yourself for 3200. But that also stacks with the mount power that I'm using. And then I've got the other ones are just stat fillers. So the active you should have one of the debuffing ones, or the sigils should have Charmed Serpent, Lantern, Heart of Black Dragon, and if I've missed any, feel free to let me know down in the comments, cause I'm sure I've missed one. And then you'll have the demo one, so that leaves 2 artifact slots to put into whatever stats you need. I know some people prioritize power over all else, but when you're running with 2 DCs, a paladin, etc., power's through the freaking roof anyway. So now we're just on to boons, which I'm not going to go over the boons. I'm just going to scroll through them pretty slowly. They're the same as my DPS, essentially, except with the guild boom, I don't use the hit points on this, I use the defense. Because as you could tell by the feats, it's not hugely spec'd for DPS, because it's not in the DPS tree. But yeah, I've got all 6 PvP boons. As I'm scrolling down these and you hover over them, when you change them yourself, you'll see that they're self-explanatory. Same with the heroic feats. But yeah, I will scroll down these rather slowly. And that is it for the boons. So the last 2 things I've got to show you are my companions that I use, and the mount power, mount quick combat power, and the mount bonuses. First off, I'm going to start with the companions. I'm currently using a air icon because personally I do not like the tiger, because the damage debuff from it's only 5% for 25 seconds, which the groups that I do ain't exactly melty it, but they do melt, so I'm looking at about a minute per boss fight at most. So I'm using Air Archon, the Fire and Earth, also the Seas Master, and the Alpha Compy. which when it comes to mod 14, the Alpha Compy will be getting replaced by the Razorwood companion. Because that companion is combat advantage and combat advantage bonus damage. From what I know of, it is a huge damage increase, and it's actually better than what the Alpha Compy is in Jolt. I think it works out about 7 or 8% damage increase. So that's pretty much the companions, but if you don't want to run the Air Archon, you could always run the... If you don't want to run Air Archon as your active, you could always swap out the Alpha Compy for either a Con Artist. You could swap it out for either the Con Artist or the Tiger. I know some people still do love the Tiger, because it offers a 10% debuff just like the Con Artist, which the Air Archon done. But that choice is personally up to you. And the last thing I've got to show you is mounts, which I am using the T-Rex as a combat power, because you more than likely have seen my name pop up in admin chat, because I've been one lucky son of a gun recently, pulling 13 legendaries in the past month. And then I'm using quick action, which quick action you get from having the legacy frail snail, which is pretty much a cheaper version of the Corcel frail snail. It's just an epic version instead of a legendary one. Same stats, same everything, but cheaper. And then the mount bonuses are Cavalry's Warning, Artificer's Persuasion, Shepherd's Devotion, Magistrate's Patience, and Protected Camaraderie. These are, whenever you activate a mount power, you gain an increase of 10% to power, recovery, arm, pen, crit strike, defense, deflect, regeneration, and life steal. It's a huge self buff. I'm not too sure on how long it lasts for, because it does not say it, and I have not actually tested that timing myself. But if anyone knows, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Next one is Artificer's Persuasion. Whenever you use an artifact power, which is once every minute, your recovery, movement, action points, and stamina gain are increased by 10% of your power for 15 seconds, which is a nice buff. Because as you can see, with my proc power at the moment, just from my companion and not with that Revelry, I'm getting 6,400 recovery when I use it. But if I was to just do that and proc Dark Revelry and go on to mounts, that goes up to 7,000 now. So as you can see, it's another huge big buff. And 9 times out of 10, I'm using my combat power and my mount at the same time. So it's a huge increase to my stats. It's, as you can see, nice stats there, but one of them doesn't last very long. Next one is Shepherd's Devotion. Whenever you use a daily, your teammate's defense, deflection, and movement are increased by 5% each power. This is not just your teammates, it is self-procced as well. So it's a nice little defensive buff while you're also using an offensive buff, which on this build that should be permanently up if you've got everything that I've shown you so far in this video. Next one is Magistrate's Patience. Whenever you perform a crit, your enemies will take psychic damage equivalent to 10% each power of 4 seconds. So it's just that nice little increase in DPS. And the next one is Protected Camaraderie. Whenever your summoned companion attacks, you get 3% of your power and defense for 10 seconds. So that's just a nice little, another self-team buff. But that is everything. If you've got any other questions to ask, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you've made it this far through the video, Feel free to like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and if you haven't enjoyed this video, also let me know down in the comments. But until next time, peace.